Hi guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Physis Trader, and you are watching the Awesome 10X live market update. It is November 24, 2020. Shout out to one of our Awesome 10X subscribers. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Harley. Okay, let's begin. The Philippine market is actually very strong. And actually, last night, the US market was just awesome. As you can see here on our Physis Trader, I'm going to share to you a lot of testimonials, people waking up with a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure that maybe if you are in the Philippines, you also have great numbers. These are some of the awesome 10X portfolios of the Philippine market that we also have. But definitely we are more focused in the US, and we want to just share to you, even as this is a Philippine market update, just wanted to share you how awesome it is. FUV cost 67, it's now $17. Xiaopeng Motors 21 to
Thanks for
32.
sharing screen.
Sorry, wait, let me share the screens, guys. Share screen. I'm gonna just share my screen right now, and you could see in Physis Trader, this is my Twitter account, and you could see that you can just follow me for free. I don't mind. You could see some awesome 10X testimonials. Of course, ChargePoint, we were buying somewhere at about 12 to 14. It's actually now trading at $37. So in fact, some of our after hours markets are we have so many clients that are just so happy. This is like, thank you, Nikki. I woke up with $1,000 just sleeping with awesome 10X picks. And not just that, there's really a lot. So this is how millions of Filipinos, well, not yet millions. We hope that we can actually reach out to millions of Filipinos. So far, we are able to just touch a few hundred people. And these people are, of course, showing their awesome 10X portfolio testimonials. Want to share to you out loud later on, 9 p.m. Tune in here to Awesome 10X, wherein you could see how we help Filipinos globally invest. Actually, that awesome 10X mindset is very good for all of you Filipinos out there, or even non-Filipinos. Now, anyway, enough with the talk. Let's go straight to the Philippine market. PSEI is down 69.7,100. However, within the 7,000 to 7,1 index range, you are seeing a lot of winners despite that index. So as you could see, there has been a strong rotation to laggards and some alpha names. So let's take a look at the top gainers. Your Merrimart is up 13%. Congratulations to those who have Merrimart. We have some clients who actually have Merrimart, so they're actually up 100% already here. And for SSI, very strong move, 164 to 182. We have been saying on and on again that we felt that SSI had a huge reward for those people who were buying at 115, 125 with us. You are now vindicated, a 50% reward for you on SSI. Let's see whether we can go 100% further. So let's see, FNI is now trading at 205, very strong moves. I remember buying and giving a call out on FNI at about 113, 115. So that is almost 100% already. Your CPG, we saw the breakout at 41 cents, 40 cents. So some people catch and follow it at about 42 cents. It's now trading at 47.5 cents. Still good move. So that is a laggard rotation. As you are seeing, PNB, another $1 up, sorry, 1 peso and 50 cents up. It's now 31. We have been opining that when PNB changed the structure at about 20 to 22, when they were saying that they wanted to sell those assets. Remember when we said, can PNB break above 25? And if it does, can it go 30, 31? Guys, today it's 31. So 22 to 31, around that level, it's about up 40, 50%. So, of course, for every person, they have their own winners and losers. What are the losers of the day? You've got some gold selling off. So, Apex Mining and Felix Mining selling off. That is, of course, a risk of, it is more because of the risk on mentality in my view. And let me see if that coincides, because I'm not like really following a lot of the gold movement. Been mostly checking other stocks actually. So let me see. Gold is somewhere at Trading View. Wait, or I'll just search here. So I don't really follow gold as much. That's why Not quite familiar, but most likely it's a risk averse. Well, not sorry, not risk averse. It's a risk on mentality, such that being in a safe haven doesn't really make sense when the market is very risk on. And you'll see that when you see a lot of the electric vehicles charts and solars, and later on the after hours 25% moves on our cannabis like Kamala Queen. Wait up, let me just show to you XAU USD just to share. So has gold fallen overnight? Is it still at 1800? Yeah, it's still at 1800, but it is consolidating. So you could see that from 2000s back to 1800. But in my view, this is just a consolidation. So the option is still intact, but with the market truly going risk on and a lot of euphoria moves, actually, it is normal to see some sell-offs on gold. It's not as big of a reopening beneficiary if you think about it. Okay, so Megawide, some selling off. Pure Gold, some selling off. And then, so the sell-offs today are mostly related to either there's a company that they believe is too safe, and sometimes being too safe, like a Pure Gold, is actually being sold down, not because it's wrong, but because some people are going into the more riskier assets of the market. So in the most active space, let's take a look at that. Most active space, you've got FNI, BDO continuing hurt, but the financials are just laggard moves. So FNI, BDO, BPI 87, your ACEN continues at 6.6, very strong moves even at the elevated levels. SM Prime 38.5, Ayala Land 39, Metro Bank 48.5, Robinson's Land 18. SACB, GT Cap, Mary Mart, BSC. So actually, like, there's a lot of people, some of them are actually profit taking, which actually is an interesting move because you're seeing rotation out of the global, you're seeing rotation out of the names that have gone up, like your SMs, when it reached 1-1, now it's 1,030, 1,055, you've got some selling pressure there. When Jollibee hit 200 or 199, some sellers are present there. So as you could see, some people are selling some 100% moves, and you're seeing the same thing with Dito and now Corp. They're just really profit taking, right? So there was really a movement away from your leadership, except for your ASEN, which hasn't really stepped up on the profit taking yet. But most of the names are actually getting a lot of profit taking and a lot of moving around. So the beneficiaries of the moving around. For now, the beneficiaries continues all-time high for your Mary Mart. Your BSC is up 30%. I am, is there any news on this? Let me search. But BSC is what? Oil play? Well, there's a bit of a laggard in fairness, energy, but I don't think it is quite a bit of a sustainable move. It's, I don't know. I could be wrong. Anyway, you've got a lot of sell-offs. Your Converge is down 3%. Your Dito is down 1%. Metro Bank is just profit taking after hitting 50s. Your GT caps after hitting 600, some profit taking. Seb at 51, some profit taking, but I don't think it is very deep. So actually, you could see that I think the better way to analyze this is to look more on a slew of weekly movements rather than daily movements. So your market value is 12 billion pesos. You could see very strong movement, 12 billion pesos. A lot of people are profit taking, but also there's a lot of people willing to buy. So there will be some bull and bear action at these overbought levels. So there is actually an opportunity to trade some of your froth. And of course, your core, your positions at the bottom, you just hold on to them. So let's see. Some people are selling some names. You've got a 3% drop on Pure Gold, San Miguel a 3% drop, GT Cap, URC, PLDT, MPI, Mega World. Let me just see these numbers. So the largest drop would be your GT Cap 589, not really too bad. Your SMC is still 130. So it's not really as low as one would paint it out. Actually, it's just a normal weekly. It's nothing really. It's just a profit taking. So I could go on with charts. Actually, today we've seen breakout moves on your SSI, 180. Actually, it's not considered a breakout. It's more like just a continuation. So, but instead of like talking about these, I will just answer your questions and then touch on the charts if you have more questions. Let me see. Okay, one by one. Miss Nikki, cannot wait for your insights. Thank you. Have a nice day. Should I start pulling out of Megawide because of the news? So there's some selling off on Megawide right now. And let's see the news on Megawide. Megawide news. So PCOO receives new communications equipment from Megawide. Construction firm says 109 billion pesos offer to upgrade NAIA remains alive. GMR Megawide submits key documents for the 109 billion pesos NAIA rehab bid. So in general, guys, if you're a little bit conflicted with news on Megawide's government contracts, it is normal to actually profit take. So there's actually a push and pull on this. Let's read this. 16 hours ago, Megawide denies that there's an EA rehab proposal junk. Let's read this. So 50% of Megawide is really contracts with the government, and that would be a risk if these NAIA rehabilitation would of course be junk. And so the company said that they are denying that. Let's read it together, guys. Ninoy Aquino report with its partner GMR Infrastructure Limited. Megawide maintains that it can deliver a first world NAIA. So of course they're saying that the report is false. There is a they are denying a report that the government has junked the 109 billion pesos unsolicited proposal to rehabilitate NAIA. The Billionario website reported earlier on Monday that the NEDA Investment Coordination Committee, in a November 19 letter, already rejected Megawide's unsolicited proposal over insufficient equity. Megawide said that the report is false, adding that it is yet to receive any official communication from the government on the matter. The joint venture of Megawide and its Indian partner GMR Infrastructure currently holds the original proponent status for the NAIA rehab project. The government talks with another consortium made up of the top Philippine conglomerates previously collapsed. Now, the NEDA, signed by Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez and Secretary Carl Chua, said that the documents for the proposal would be returned to the DOT as the Secretariat found that Megawide's equity position is insufficient to finance the equity requirement for the proposed project. Megawide said that the government only asked for the complete requirements for the project on Monday. So on November 19, the letter dated merely asked for the full submission of the requirements to demonstrate the capabilities to deliver a first world NAIA. So you can see the letters here, and I think that there will be just confusion in the market's eyes about this. So some people are just afraid about the potential for these NAIA proposals to suddenly get junked. So I'll show you the charts of that Megawide. So definitely, because you've got so many issues that are easy money, it is unlikely for people to just not take profit on the site of a potential negative headline, right? So what it has is it is a negative headline. However, it also doesn't mean that the trend is over. As you can see, Megawide here, ever since the Megawide proposal of preferred shares, you can see that during that time it broke out just like 750 to 8. I'm not sure if Megawide will actually have that NAIA proposal. Well, they're saying that they are able to handle. Maybe the preferred shares are actually the way for Megawide to actually handle the sufficient equity they need. So definitely, you're seeing these things happen. First, this was a resistance, really original resistance here during March. So it could possibly be that there could be drops back to 9 pesos. Some people might even take profit below 9 if if their cost was something below 8, no? So there will still remain some profit taking. However, in my view, more people are really going to be willing to buy Megawide more as a laggard play as their reopening themes. As you could see, Megawide is airport. Take note of other laggard plays on the construction side. Your San Miguel infrastructure, take note from about 108, it's now 144. It's just a consolidation right now. So you are seeing a little bit of a flag here. So take a look at some drops on your conglomerates. GT Cap was a laggard after hitting from about 380, 390 all the way to about 640. We are seeing the first signs of profit taking. So this is just the first sign of profit taking. 630, that was your previous March area. So it doesn't have that ability to go 700. That's what it's saying to you. But it doesn't mean that GD cap isn't going to go slowly below 520 either. So what could happen here is that if it drops from 589 to 520, do make a bid somewhere here. What happens if your cost is below 440? Should you take profit? I would argue that it's not going to go down to 440 below. So chances are, if this really drops, it's just here at about 520 to to 540. So you might as well just hold on to your shares, especially if your cost is very low. And we do believe that you have to hold your winners in order to keep on winning. We'll emphasize that more, and you'll realize that especially when you check the charts abroad. For example, if you sold your winner, you'd be losing out on a 300% move on just a month. That would be what happened with our XPEV. Actually, there was a 400% move on our FSL. Anyway, that's for the US portfolio for me to discuss. But yeah, it's not, this one isn't clear. It's better to show it on TradingView. That's not true. It's already $72. Either way, let me just show you Philippine charts. FNI and nickel are, of course, your beneficiaries on electric vehicles. And electric vehicles as a group last night was like one of the top sectors abroad. Of course, your Tesla's inclusion on S&P 500 fueled the fire. However, gap is somewhere just here. So actually, after a very strong move from the lows to the highs, it will consolidate just like Nicolasia did before it actually rises. For your GT caps to really go up, it has to be about the reopening theme. So GT cap is more of traditional company. We have to say that GT cap is more on the Metro Bank. So the financials are a huge laggard as a sector. So actually, even if Metrobank has risen from 34 to 50 bucks, take note that Metrobank is considered a laggard. So this one is just a rally back to the 52, just the same as March. So we just saw that March move. It's not called a leader, unlike your ACEN and nickel. And then of course, what's likely gonna happen for your banks like financials as a laggard play is that the 48 can actually fall to 46 or 44. I'm not sure if that happens in the next 6 months. It could fall because banks in general are not as strong in a pandemic. So it might take time. So even if let's say your Cebu Pacifics rose to 51, is it possible that if you don't have Cebu Pacific, can you still get in at about 45? Will there be an entry point again? Actually, it's 50-50, guys. Sometimes it doesn't give a re-entry. Sometimes it just goes all the way up. So the answer here is that if you have a very low cost, you might as well not sell. So we said 39, 44. And some people who don't have SEB are actually buying even at 48, right? So there is a risk, of course, that Cebu Pacific falls back to about 45, in which case, guys, you still have to have a buyer's bias. However, if you're right that there's no really pullback, actually winners rarely pull back. Your SEB actually goes back to about 55 first, 58, 60, and even as high as this March areas of about 65. So in general, I wouldn't say that it's over. Cebu Pacific, we mentioned that if you were buying a ticket for yourself to Japan, the best way to get that ticket for free is simply to put that 100,000 pesos in Cebu Pacific, or about 2,500 shares, when it was trading at about 40 peso below. Here, 2,500 times 10 bucks is 25,000. It might not be enough for a Cebu Pacific trip unless they're giving a lot of discounts. However, if it does go about 59 to 60 bucks, I'm pretty sure that even at 100,000 peso investment, you'll get your free trip to wherever you want. So of course, a free trip around the world is possible depending on how much you really allocated for your positions. Take note what's happening in some reopening themes. Let's take a look at macro Asia's. Your macro Asia has been a reopening theme, and you could see that because it fell so low from about $3 to as high as well, right now it's consolidating now at about 864. Take note that these are your potential supports and your potential resistances. So this is what I'm saying, that Cebu Pacific is actually somewhere here at this zone. The 51 area is not just here. It's nowhere at but it's not yet in that euphoric zone. So it's not, Cebu Pacific is not in the 65 level. It's not in the 60 peso level. So can it go higher if you miss that 39, 40, 45 area to buy? The answer is that we think that if reopening really, of course, goes higher, your macro Asia actually can go higher to $9, 9.10. However, these are your potential resistances. So do note that even if this is very strong, you've got a very strong base at 6. Yes, you've got a very strong base here at about 5, 6. In fact, even at 7, some people would argue that maybe that is a higher low base already for macro Asia. So it could be that it's a 7 to 10 range. So it could drop to 9, from 9 to 7, but it can also go to 990. So at these levels, it's just really a hold. Let's take a look at some laggards. As we said, AGI, we're buying here at about 550 to 6, right? We said that it was a reopening buy signal pick. For those who don't believe it, actually, guys, everything can be, everything we say can always be check back. So actually, even my US, it's all recorded. We aren't really yeah. So like everything is really just recorded. Alliance Global AGI undervalued awesome 10x videos. AGI giving a buy signal August 10 undervalued play. So you could watch that. That was, I think, around 550 to 6. So yeah, we were opining that it was really an undervalued play. And as you could see here in the charts, let's see that. Here, around August 10, it's here. Yeah, here, August 10, 566. So we were opining that it was an undervalued play here at about August 10. So as you could see, we were buying. I remember buying at about 570, 580 for some clients of Awesome 10X for those who were investing in the Philippines. So we have been saying that they should invest in the Philippines, but also worldwide. So yeah, and then of course, that is a very awesome move. And this is what's happening. From laggard, you could see that this was first a V-shaped move at about 750, right? So this was the first initial move. That was the first V-shape. Then this is the super all-time high move. So actually, you could see that AG, well, it's not all-time high, guys, but it's already considered a significant rally based on where it came from, right? So you could argue that AGI is actually one of the extended moves amongst the or what you call the laggers, no? So it's not really a lagger given that it has already transpired from 750 to $10. So this is actually, I'd say that some people are gonna take profit or on some of their AGIs, as there is a very clear resistance at 1050, very little upside if they were chasing at 10. So there's still a lot of people willing to sell from about 1050 to 960. Where will it drop? Probably here at 850. Wait up. I mean,
yung check it naman, yung date pa lang is 25. 24 po ngayon. Kailangan daw, sabi ni Ma'am Nikki.
Okay, sulat ko na.
Uli ngayon.
Okay, alright.
I-return ko sa iyo.
Pabigay na lang. Okay, I'll do it
sa
now.
bangko pa, Ma'am, susoli mo.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oo, November ano ngayon? 24.
Sabi ko na nga,
sorry. Okay, guys.
Kailangan ko, Ma'am.
Ngayon na?
Opo.
Okay, sige. Alright.
Ito yung bangko.
Wait lang, guys.
Kahit ako na magsulat.
Sige, pasulat na lang.
Ipakita ko sa'yo after na sulat ko.
Okay, sige. Okay, wait lang, guys.
Soli ko yung...
I'll sign lang.
Sige, Ma'am.
Tapos copy na lang everything. Sorry.
Sige, copy ko na. Pakita ko sa'yo after.
Okay, thank you. Alright, bye. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Intermission. Okay, let me read first all your questions. Let me see if I can answer them. Should I start pulling out of Megawide because of the news? I think it's normal to sell it, so it's okay. Hi, Nikki, I'm earning from ACEN. Will I continue to hold? Yup, ACEN is actually a top pick. We said that it was a 10x pick at 220. Right now, actually, we said as well that ACEN seems to be... Okay, so I think that ACEN will have some extended levels. So it's actually in the euphoria zone. It can go insane further. However, so ganito siya. We said that vertical rises are definitely in the euphoria zone. So this is the normal greed zone, di ba? This is the apathy zone, the greed zone, apathy zone, the greed zone, the euphoria zone, and this is already the euphoria, no? So again, in this euphoria move, it can go higher and higher. However, you have to be trailing stops. Whenever this one goes, usually in my view, I'll give you just a clue. The people who bought at about 4 are aching to sell even at 7. They would even sell it at 8. So at the same time, they would even sell it all the way to 6 if they know that it's not going to go higher anymore. So at this point, after this vertical rise, if you want to be safe, kasi 'di ba, 2 to 8 na yan, 2 to 7 na yan, no? Pwede yan mag-8, pwede mag-9, pwede mag-10. Nobody knows the top. But if you are very worried, what you'll just do is you have to be, especially if your cost is somewhere at 4, especially, wag ka na maghabol. I would assume na meron kang low cost, no? So those who have a very low cost, actually, habol na nga tong 4 eh. I'd say dito ka pa dapat sa mga 3 eh. So, ano na yan, too late na yung mga naghahabol dyan. It's gonna be volatile. What's gonna happen is you have to be open to anything that's happening. It can go 6, pwedeng ganyan. It can also go to 7. It can also even go to 8. So at these levels, actually, you have to tell yourself na you're open to any scenario. So I've had moves like this, 300 to 400%. Okay lang yan kasi sobrang mura ng cost mo dyan. So you just hold on to it. As long as you have an exposure na happy ka na, leave your souvenir. Kasi yung mga 2 mo, baka mag-9, mag-10. So you want to actually hold on to your winners, even if you know yourself it's already very volatile, right? So you could sell 7, 6, 8, 9, 10. It's very hard to say, but you want to hold a portion because your cost is very low. So ganun, that's the answer. Will you continue to hold? If your cost is very low, you have to hold. But you have to also trim at a comfortable exposure. New subsidiary to be incorporated, Irradiation Solutions by BRN. Not so sure about that. I don't know much. May nangyayari ba? What's that? Teka lang. Wait, I'll answer later, but I'll check more questions. Removal of Shell Philippines to MSCI, what will be the effect din po? Shell Philippines is a laggard, so there's going to be really resistances at 20, 22, 24. FA is holding 79 cents level. It is already profit-taking possible on Shell Philippines, on PHA, given that it rallied from 30 to 80 cents on the back of the same news, the squid pay. So you can't I can't say if it goes 60 or 1 peso. At these levels, I'd argue that some people are already profit-taking. Aboitiz Power and Robinson's Land. Robinson's Land at 18 can still go higher. Any drops at about 17, 16 will have a buyer. Aboitiz Power, I haven't been tracking the chart, so I can't say much. FNI just had a big cross earlier. Any insights? It's very hard to talk about crosses because after a 100% move, there will really be temptations for some people to sell. So I'm not quite, volume on those things aren't quite significant. I don't think it's significant in my view. What can you say about Felix? Gold-related names are not doing well, so I don't think it's a buy. BSE, does market cap have a bearing to upside potential? In general, it's very hard unless like what's happening to BSE is something like what's happening in the news ba? BSE news, anong name? Basic, ano ba to? What's the name of this? It's a penny stock eh. I mean, I don't know, may news ba to? Kasi if it's just oil play, marami kasi talaga abroad eh. So BSC 22 to 31 cents. It can consolidate, guys. Basic Energy Corp. May news to, may disclosure to. Anong ginagawa nito? Wala eh. Teka. Puro MYD yung disclosure. Teka, basic. 30% pop. Usually pag ganyan, you are sending a signal to the market, but it isn't necessarily a buy signal because it can also just be a one-day pop eh. Mahirap din kapag pag one day up ng ganyan, mahirap maghabol. Pwedeng umangat, pwedeng bumaba, 50-50 labanan sa ganyan. Yeah, so like actually if you'll notice, 14 to 24, no? So let's see. May accumulation. Tapos pina-breakout. Okay. Pwede siyang bagsakan, na. Pwede kang batuhan. Hindi ko masabi. I mean, this one is, I don't know. Like, it can go higher, it can go lower. But it's very difficult. Mahirap yung risk-reward ratio mo sa ganito. Hindi ko masabi. It's not a very good risk-reward ratio. Anything can happen in something like this. Can go higher, can go lower. Let me see more questions. Wow, SSI. Yup, 180. Hold lang yan. Continuation. Sige, thank you. Pabalik na lang. Okay, yeah, kailangan ko mag-makeup kasi sabi nila mukha daw ako haggard araw-araw eh. Ma'am, PLC. PLC umaangat, di ba? So hawak lang, 48 cents, 50 cents. Okay lang, hawak lang. Bloomberry and lahat ng casinos abroad malakas. So reopening play yan. It might have a lot of resistances because Bloomberry has that resistance at 9 and 10. However, it will have a buyer at 8 plus. So it's not a bad thing. ACEN and Merrimart po. So ACEN, those who have this, congrats. Merrimart, congrats too. I think that for both ACEN and Merrimart, you just really trail it. Nobody knows the top, let it be. Go lang, hawak lang. Still thinking if I can still buy AGI, but I think it's a bit scary. I think the chasing right now is scary. Try to give yourself some entry points. If talagang it doesn't give an entry, it's what a leader actually does, no? Leaders don't really give entries. Notice that ACEN and Nickel, if you forgot to buy them at the time that they were really giving buy signals, it's very difficult to pay 50% higher. Imagine you're buying AGI just on August at about 550. Now you're paying at about 9 peso, 950 cents. So that was like 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's about 4 months. I think like some people might actually not want to, two kinds of people. There's a buyer, but the buyer tries to find a better entry. Then the seller is trying to also think, I'm up like 500, let's say, I don't know how much, but let's say from 550, or let's say you entered about 6 or 7 or even at 8. You don't want to actually miss out on selling at 9 and 10 while the getting is good. So it's more on, my advice there would be probably sell half. That will really be the best answer there. There's a question, DHI, ACR, Double Dragon. Double Dragon, we mentioned that there was a rotation move. So Double Dragon, I think at about 15 to 14 has some buying. And then there's some selling at 20 above. So still a range action for Double Dragon. DHI and ACR, not getting a lot of I'm not sure. Usually, guys, pag penny stocks, hindi ko talaga alam. It's 50-50 talaga. Like these names can go higher, bigla na lang 40% up, mag-ceiling. And I really don't know why. Like there could be a disclosure, there could be spikes, but very hard to say. So I would say that I don't know. Think about it, from 50 cents all the way to about 4 cents or 95% down. Similarly, so very, very hard. Like there's a lot of resistances on something like a BHI. Then there was a question. Ano yung question niya? So normally, guys, Awesome 10X actually doesn't advise people to buy companies that they cannot sleep at night with. So, I mean, mamili ka na lang ng companies that you can sleep well at night. So, guys, I'm not gonna discuss anymore so many questions. What I want you to do is actually to help you out to make money while you're sleeping. Can you buy companies that you'll make money while sleeping? In the Philippines, yes, there will be a few names that you can just make money while sleeping. Kahit na matulog ka dyan, alam mo nga, angat yan eh. Meanwhile, there will be companies na you have to think, pag mali yung entry ko, patay na. So, why make yourself really worried? The best way is to actually help us help you. How do we help you? Okay, number one, you go to Awesome 10X, watch the show, watch the channel, see what we were saying, at least malaman mo, okay, bumibili sila ng AGI ng 550, ganito. Bumibili sila ng ACEN sa 220, 230, ganito. Walang selling targets yon, guys. Pwedeng 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's no selling targets. Why did we buy Nicolasia? For the electric beneficiary trend. So I want you to understand why you bought what you bought. And then if you know that you bought it because the reopening theme is likely a mean reversion play to the March areas, well, right now, nasa March area ka na, ano pang hinahabol mo? Is there a new catalyst for that movement to continue further? Di ba? So if you know that the market has already been pushing a lot of names, you might say that baka may tug of war, guys. It's gonna be something like people would take profits and then they will rotate. They'll rotate to some names that haven't risen. So example, this one was a laggard, right? It only rose when, so bagsak din yan, from 240 to 30 cents, 40 cents. Sobrang bagsak, like we're talking about 90% down, right? So for those kinds of companies, and if you think that there is a legit reason for it to go up, that catalyst, you can maximize that to your favor. So yun, kanya-kanya lang ng manok. Pa-check ng SM, ma'am. SM has a range, 11 to 1,000. You've got a lot of selling pressure there. nasa topish zone na si. Hope you won't forget BRN. Okay, let me answer that BRN. I don't know really what's happening with BRN. BRN news. Can you give me like a news flow on BRN? What's up with this name? Why should I be interested with Brown? I mean, I'm okay. I'm sorry, I don't just hindi ako familiar with everything, updates and stuff. So I just need to read it up. While it's loading, BRN Philippines. Reload lang. Habang nagre-load siya, it's in the disclosure po. So basahin natin yung edge. Teka lang edge. Teka lang bagal 90 centavos, market cap 2 billion. Ano to? Renewable na naman. Sorry. Teka lang. Okay, basa tayong disclosures. Chart is chart. Like I'm gonna read first if because I think like when you're in a topish market, you have to be very selective. You have to know what the catalyst is for it to go higher. Kung walang catalyst, very prone to retests. I'm reading. News. Kulang. Brown. Brown. Well, mahina yata yung ano ba news nito? Ano nakasulat? Nakasulat ba? 5 most viewed disclosures. Double Dragon, Megawide, Converge. This week, ACEN, Megawide, DD, Tech. I mean, I think nobody's really looking at BRN. I could see that nobody's even viewed the disclosure. That should tell you that the market is not interested. It's in an apathy zone. When you have a company that is in the apathy zone, even if it's rising, it's still not worth your time. I mean, iba-iba. Syempre, some people want to buy before the market. Pero, okay, let's read. Material information. New subsidiary, irradiation. Please be advised that we will be subscribing. So parang it's providing X-rays, gamma rays, in order to activate food pathogens, eliminate pests, prevent sprouting of tubers and bulb crops, improve food properties of food products, gloves, gown, face masks, syringes, surgical staplers, non-food. So irradiation solutions. I don't know eh. So alam mo ba yung prospectus nito? Usually guys, pag ganito, parang SPAC yan, di ba? Kaya ko sa US mag-earn ng 100 to 200% on SPACs. Pero kailangan may laman. Hindi yung kahit ano lang. I don't know eh. Like, very few information. When you have a SPAC, or in this, for those who aren't aware, SPAC is Special Purpose Acquisition Company. So this is more like a SPAC, no? So a SPAC play. The market might not be interested with their SPAC, or in this case, what Irradiation Solutions is. Just because you're entering a company, hindi necessary that the market will love it unless it's in a sector na malakas. So I don't think like, hindi ko sure, like medical field, etc. Wala ka talagang alam dyan eh. So I'd say na wala akong alam. Laggard casino, pre-opening play, any thoughts on Sun? Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a laggard, similar to PHR, di ba? Yun, at least alam natin na PHR, casino, Sun, yeah, casino yan. So yan, mas maaring may magbibili kasi people are familiar with casinos eh. Ito tingin ko mas may laban to. So yan, totoo yan. Sun, we were actually opining. Actually, in the last couple of months, okay na pala, no? Nag-breakout na pala to. Matagal na akong dito tumitingin ng Sun. So Sun is actually a breakout from 140. Okay naman. So Sun Properties had these sellers before at 150. This one is a better chart in my view. Ito, baka mag-move higher. Baka mag-dosto. So this is a good pick. For those who have Sun, you probably accumulated 130 or you even bought at 150. Even at 159 today, I'd say that is still good kahit na wala pa masyadong nagpipick up. Kasi ito may legit, di ba? Casino play to eh. So Resorts World is entering through this Sun Trust for their casino with the Sun City of Macau. So ito mas reopening play to. Mas agree ako dyan sa Sun Trust. So agree with that Sun call. Okay, Converge, they're asking Converge. Yeah, actually Converge in my view is a growth company. So it's just a mixture of people who I think magbabasa ka lang talaga. I think Converge results were out. Guys, I'll give a more thorough understanding. Basahin ko muna. It's 40 minutes already. I can't like answer all the questions. Hopefully, like here's what's happening. 9 p.m. Do join us. Let me just share to you the title for later on. 9 p.m. We have a class. Sorry, not a class, no? Saan ko ba nilagay yun? Summary. I think I put it here, no? So, this one. So, we will stream live how awesome 10x people are making money on globally. Ano to? Actual portfolio snapshots to. Ayan o, grabe o. Kahapon to, 12 a.m. Well, guys, gising lang kami pero honestly, pwede naman matulog. Yung iba naman tulog tapos hawak lahat yan eh. Xiaopeng, 72 nagsarado. Ito, oh, ganyan o. Ang dami naman o. Oh. FCell up 200%. Actually, FCell 228. Grabe, no? SBE, Dada, Xiaopeng, Grow Generation, Palantir, Lordstown Motors, Look. Daming malalakas. So actually, guys, there's a lot of awesome 10x testimonials na you'll make money from. And this one is, ang dami, inspirational for you. We have been helping people to make a lot of money abroad. So this is good. You can learn ito. Like he started with 1.5 million pesos or $30,000. So far, he's up $20,000 already in just about 6 months. Will help you guys how to uncover awesome 10x. So without you actually being awake at night. So yun lang, guys.